All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be having a little bit of fun. We're going to be messing around with a quotations around it, Reiju list. Okay, I've been cooking up a list lately. I've been in the lab messing around with a Blurple Reiju list, of course. That is not the whole Germa 66 Vinsmoke family thing. And we're going to check out some games of that today on the sim. But let me give you guys a quick layout of how today's video is going to go. First things first, we're going to head over to the lab. We got a game of ST14 Luffy versus Purple Black King. That should be a lot of fun. OP08 legal and all that good stuff, right? Because it's Purple Black King is the opponent. From there, we're going to head over to LimitlessTCG. We're going to take a quick glance at the normal Reiju list, the very standard list you're going to find everywhere. But then we're going to head over to the sim and check out 3 more games of Reiju. Okay, or 3 games of Reiju, I should say, with the different version that I was just talking about. Just to give a hint real quick, because we will go more into it as we get into the video, it is an Animal Kingdom Pirates style list. Not fully, you know, I'm still working on it, but that's kind of the theme you'll see as we get into it. Okay, then from there we'll check out the deck list, and then we'll finish off with an art critique. Okay, guys, so you know what you're getting into. I'll have everything time-stamped down in the comment section below, or in the general description, I guess, and I'll have all relevant links and the deck list down in the comment section. All right, guys, let's get into this. I know my videos have been running pretty long, guys, but I have to say it is, or excuse me, my videos have been going pretty late lately. I've been like releasing them a little bit later in the day. I do apologize, guys, but I would get used to that soon, unfortunately. Not because I want it to be that way, but I did just take a very large assignment teaching for middle school, and middle school gets out this late. So, again, it's not that I want to push the times back, and days that I can, I will push it out earlier. But I just took about a 2-month-long assignment. Okay, like I accepted an assignment for 2 months long that will be at middle school level. So all my videos will probably be right around this time for the next 2 months or so. Okay, guys, just giving you all fair warning. But that assignment does not start until not next week, but the following week. Okay, now let's go ahead and hop into this game here, guys. Or excuse me, hop into the lab. Let me move the leader real quick. Okay, so what is the lab for any new players? The lab is the beginning of every one of my videos now, unless it's a very specific video where we don't have anything extra in there and it's like a very, you know, hyper-focused. At the beginning of all my videos now, I have this portion that we're calling the VV Lab, or the lab for short. It is a community-submitted game that I review. Okay, so this is not me playing, it's just something someone submitted from the community. If you are interested in submitting a game from, you know, from your own stuff, right? If you want me to review one of your games, it's totally free of charge. There is no charge to it. All you have to do, though, is record a game, use OBS. That's a special recording software, completely free. Use OBS, upload it to YouTube, and then send the link to me over on the VV Theory Discord. I have a tab, or a channel called Review My Game. Okay, when you put the link in there, I'll give you the thumbs up saying that I got it, and then it goes in line. So whenever it comes up, whenever your turn comes up, I throw it right up. Okay, now let's hop into this game. And of course, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, guys, please put them in the comment section below. Please do not hesitate. So volume is off. The speed is on 2x, and we are good to go. So here we go. This person did edit. There's a little bit. Looks like I got cat ears up there. This is just some type of edit that the viewer, or the person from the community submitted. Please don't edit your videos, guys. I will completely, you know, you see how I have it all squared off where they can't see names. I'll have everything screened off. Okay, now into this game here. It's a very quick start, or a very normal start, except one thing I do want to mention. Hang on, let me make sure if I hit pause, it'll pause it. This is a Dressrosa list for ST14 Black Luffy. Very interesting, very exciting. I have to say, I'm a big fan of this. I want to see where this goes, because we still see Sanji in the trash. Notice in the trash over here. Let me see the mouse down here. So it looks like we got some Sanji action, lots of Dressrosa action. I'm very curious to see how this list goes. Good stuff. Here we go. Especially with the Rebecca start, we'll take it. Now, Purple Black King was off to a slow start. They did not get their stage, so that's, you know, that is less than ideal for our opponent here, for the Purple Black King player. Okay, attach 1 to the leader here, so all of our characters are going to get +1, and then we play out the TCG. Okay, hey, that's a 4-cost 4K right now. So that's you know, It's not like that's a great stat line, but it is going to be harder to remove at that point. They're going to swing for 7 here. We give them a 2K, 1K, sure. We just have to make it later into the game, right? Healthy enough. So we do a brand new search. Unfortunately, we do whiff the brand new search. But if I had to guess, there will be some type of trash and graveyard recursion in this deck. So we'll probably be able to get that back later. Okay, going to swing in for 5 here. Now, we did not have 1 Dawn left to put onto our leader, unfortunately, to increase the cost of our characters. That's not the biggest deal in the world, though. That's not like a play mistake or something. That's just unfortunate. Okay, but we're getting our attacks in. Like I said, you know, we're going all in here. They're probably going to swing at TCG because that is a cost reducer. If they don't swing at TCG, I think it would be somewhat of a play mistake, personally, unless they have a way to wipe it with whatever Dawn they have left. 7 into 4, 100% agree. Very good. And now they're going to play out a king, and they're going to pop the brand new. Not really incredible, right? Like, that's not a huge amount of value for the king. However, look at our hand. They don't really have anything they can hit anyway. Now we have a 7 cost, quote unquote. It's more like an 8 cost Luffy on the board. Really good. Okay. Now we're going to be able to help out our trash, and now it makes sense, right? It's starting to make sense why they run Rebecca and brand new, because you really need to fill out your trash if you want to be able to use the 7 cost Luffy and get some extra value. Okay, they're going to have to return 2 Dawn with their leaders. Okay, or use that. Yeah, okay, pause. Real quick, guys, for those who are not aware of what this character does on the screen, Kaido, this is coming out in OP08. You might be able to pause and read it. Let me check the quality. Settings, the only quality, it only goes up to 720p for this one, guys, which is not a big deal. But let me tell you what this Kaido does. It says you may discard 1 card from your hand, and if this character was played this turn, so even though it's an activate main, you can only do it on the turn he's played, place up to one of your opponent's 7 cost or lower characters in the trash, and then your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. So if they want to be able to hit Luffy, they're going to have to use their leader's effect first. And that's why this character is worded in such a confusing way. It allows you to use this character and still use your leader's effect on the same turn, even though he costs 9 Dawn, and the leader's effect requires you to return 2 Dawn. Do you see what's going on there? Again, I know that's very confusing, but that's why it's worded in that way. Okay, so they're going to drop the Luffy down to a 6 cost. They're going to go from an 8 down to a 6, and now they're going to be able to trash that with the Kaido, and then we're going to have to trash a card as well. Okay, we have to select a card to trash, and we're going to choose probably the Haute Couture Patchwork. Yeah, I would trash the Haute Couture Patchwork here. Looks like we're thinking about trashing a 2K counter. All right, let's see. It looks like they're probably trying to hit the Kaido with the Haute Couture Patchwork. That seems like the goal there. That seems like the idea. Swing for 7, we get another Luffy. Okay. Swing for 5. All right, so we're going to take that too. So that we're getting into a pretty dangerous spot here, right? Let me make sure the speed is on 2x. We're good. All right, so we do have 7 cards in hand now because we took 2 life last turn, and we drew for the turn. Let's see what we can do here. Again, I'm assuming, if I had to guess, we're going to Haute Couture Patchwork and Shigan Finger Pistol the Kaido, right? But is that even enough? Hang on, I'm trying to do the math in my head. Nice. 8 into... pause. 8 into the king. Excellent. That's going to, you know, knock him out because he was not able to 2K counter out of that because he was a 7K. Then Haute Couture Patchwork -3. So the Kaido is going to go down to 6. And we're going to have to use... Oof. Yeah, see, so that was a large investment. And then the Kaido goes away. One thing I will say there is I think I would have preferred... Like, this is just me personally. I actually would have preferred just establishing our Rebecca and hitting, you know, Shigan Finger Pistol plus the what's it called? The Haute Couture Patchwork to just get rid of the king. That's fine, right? Because that was exactly, well, that was 8 Dawn. He was worth 7. Just get rid of it that way, and then we establish the Rebecca, and we can just block the king next turn and then just smash into it and go from there if we have to. And then we could have defended out a little more aggressively last turn by not trashing the TCG. And, you know, I don't know. It would have been nice if we knew we were going to draw a Luffy from our life, right? Or for the turn or whatever it was, because then we could have just, you know, trashed a Luffy from our hand from that effect. But hey, looking back, though, that probably does make a lot of sense, too, because we can get... Rebecca can snag Luffy back from the trash. Okay, here we go. Let's see what our opponent's going to do now. We pass it back. We have no board state. Hopefully we can recover. Swing for 5. Okay, we're at 2 life. Taking life here would be very scary. They play out the 9 cost Lin Lin. if I were them, I would not push back the Rebecca. You can choose not to push your opponent's character back to life. And they choose to. Wow. Okay. Well, I would be like, you know, in the chat, thank you very much, because there was no reason to do that, giving us an extra turn to set up. But hey, we'll take it. We will take that. All right. So I have my crew. Going to play out the Luffy here. Probably just going to smash in for 8. Sit on this. So what does that do? Hang on. Let me go backwards real quick. I don't remember what this 1-cost event does. It is a 1-cost main. Let me say the trigger KO is a 3 or less. But then the main is draw 1 card, just period. But then, after this, give up to one of your characters plus 3 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay. All right, so that makes our Luffy into, basically, this turn, he'll be an 11-cost character now. Okay, because he already has plus 1 from the leader effect. So that is an 11-cost character. We're going to swing in for, I think that was 8. And now it's our opponent's turn. Let's see what they can do here. This is a tough spot. This is a tough spot to be in for, you know, for us. I'm not going to lie. But hey, it's not over yet. I just don't understand why they would push back the Rebecca to life. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's just a strict play mistake. And right here, if they swing for anything less than 7, it's probably not going to be a good play. Because I don't know what's in the King's hand. Obviously, we can't see the King's hand. But I would go swing 7, establish a Gecko Moria. Because, I'm just kind of assuming what they might have in their hand. They had a 9 Lin. They had a 9 Kaido. Are they playing the 10-cost Kaido? Are they playing the other Rush 9-cost purple Kaido? What are they playing, right? That's what it's going to come down to. Okay. Again, we're just waiting on our opponent here. We don't have any idea what's going on, and we can't see their hand. Okay, they're going to load up for 6 here. Okay, so they might have another 9-cost... Oh, okay, they played out Fukuro. Interesting. You don't see this card very often anymore. But here's the problem with Fukuro. We have a Luffy on the board. We can actually just attack into that. And we might even just be able to go for game next turn. Okay, well, definitely not now. They got 2 blockers. Okay, let's see what happens. So they do a Queen search. I'm not aware what they have for Queen because they do have it blocked off on their screen. Swing in for 8 into 6. Sure. Okay, that was not the worst turn in the world. But remember, if they had not pushed our Rebecca back to life with the 9-cost Lin, we would be on 0 life right now. And this game would probably be over. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like, okay, there's pretty much no way we can survive unless we play a bunch of blockers and hope they have no removal and such. Okay, yeah, playing out the Rebecca makes a lot of sense to me. We still have 6 Dawn for the turn. Let's see what we choose here. I like the Sanji a lot because we could pop something on play. But there's not a lot of great targets. There's not really a lot of great targets. So we get the 2K counter, play out the Bartolomeo. That's a blocker, at least for later. We'll play out another Bartolomeo. Okay, play out the... maybe not even use it. Those can't be KO'd. Okay, so I don't think we should... that might have been a slight play mistake because they are mousing over the character now, seeing... Yeah, I don't think we should have tried to go for these little characters. That might have just been a play mistake. You know, it's not a big deal. Swing for 5 into 5. If I were king, I would actually take this, go down to 1. Absolutely. All right, let's see what happens here. Swing for 7. They still have both Fukuros. Interesting. The guy decides to not block there. It takes his last life. I would not have taken my last life there. So maybe that means they have 0 counter in hand. Like, they must not have almost barely any counter in hand. Okay, it's the opponent's turn here. Let's see what the purple-black king player can do here. They've got 1 large attack, the 9K, and I would swing with that first because that will force either their life or one of their blockers just right away. Then we can swing for 7 or 9 more to test the waters from there. If I'm the purple black king player, okay, wow, okay, very strong. The game would be over right here if that guy had not pushed a Rebecca back to hand. Guys, little mistakes like that add up so quickly. It adds up so quickly. But that's okay. What are they going to do now? That's my question. Because, okay, they have to go. Okay, so now at least go for the Luffy. So now they would have to go for Luffy. They have 1 blocker. They have 5 cards in hand. They can draw a card at the end of the turn with the king because they have 5 or less. Yep. Smash that into there. And then don't attack with the blocker. Okay. Here we go. Draw. That's exactly what they did. That's like the best play you can do there. We got a Shigan Finger Pistol, but remember, we cannot KO Fukuro, guys. Fukuro cannot be KO'd. It is a blanket effect on the card. All right, what do we do here? I think we just have to go for game, right? So there is no other option in this situation here. I think we just go... Okay, it looks like he's going to try to just push through here with... Yeah, And the guy just leaves. Okay. Wow, his hand was bricked up. I just want to mention one thing. So, good game. That was a great submission there. It has to be said right here, guys. Let's go back to the turn that, here we go. So, I'm going to fast forward a little bit just so we can get to the point I'm talking about. This point right here. They play out a 9-cost Lin. And they lost the game from this play. 9-cost Lin says you trash a card from your hand, and then you gain a life from the top of your deck, and your opponent, and you can put one of your opponent's 6-cost or lower characters on the top or bottom of their life. There is no reason to put this 2,000 power character into their life. Just let them have that, and they stay at 2 life, and this person lost the game by 1 life. Yeah, it is what it is, right? Very unfortunate. But other than that, this was a good game. Really interesting deck list, guys. Do y'all see this? ST14 Luffy with Dressrosa and some Navy support. Really cool looking stuff. I shouldn't even say Navy support. I think the brand new might just be in here to trash cards. Let me see if we had any Navy cards that we could search up. All right, so we had Tashigi, probably a few others. Shigan is CP. One-Legged Toy Soldiers Dressrosa. There's the brand new. Yeah, probably, and yeah, probably, oh, and Kobe. Kobe we can search up, very nice. And I'm trying to see, okay, here's the trash. Not sure what the full deck list is, but that was pretty cool. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's move on. Good stuff there, guys. That was a really good game. That was a fun one. Okay, let me go ahead and move my face over to here real quick. Let me get this off the screen. Give me just a moment here to get set up. We are going to look, now we're going to look at Blurple Reiju. This is the standard list. We're not going to be playing this list in today's video, guys. Don't worry. This is too boring for us, guys. This is a little too boring for this channel right now. I'm just kidding. This is actually a very complicated list to run for those who are not aware. And look at the price tag on this, guys. $88. This thing is under $100 still. Vinsmoke Reiju is the most expensive card along with Queen in this entire list. And guess what, guys? I don't know if Reiju is getting reprinted in PRB01. I can't remember. But I know Queen is. And that's all that matters. So this price should go down even lower. Guys, that's awesome. Seeing a very high-level deck like this be this cheap of a price, this is Pokemon territory. We will take that. Another list I want to talk about real quick. I'm sorry, guys. You guys know I'm like full red-yellow brain right now after playing so much Sabo. But red-yellow Bello Betty... Guys, it has to be said. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. Do I have, can I go to, let me see if I can go to my deck list real quick. Tools, deck builder. Y'all bear with me. Yes. Okay. Guys, look at this Bello Betty list. This list is $20. That is crazy. That is absolutely wild. And let me tell you right now, guys, this list is like extremely, extremely high level. Like probably... at least at like high B, low A, at the least. And we'll have to see how things go in the future when more of the new Revo cards come out in OP09. I'm just saying, guys, this list at that price point for what it can do, outrageously good. Okay, let me see if I can hit back enough times to go back to where we just were. Okay, here we go. So back to Reiju. Sorry, we went on a small rabbit trail. I know. We're just going to go for the highest placed list here. I will say this guy has had some very consistent results. This guy, Luca Kare, I'm not sure how to say that. Here's a fifth placed list, and it only costs almost $100 because it has 4 queens. But then the list we just looked at was from this guy named Rene Bierman. This is a 3rd place list, August 3rd, OP07. And check this out, guys. Remember, this is in the era of Red Purple Law, okay? And look at this list, guys. This is an $88 list. And it would be even cheaper if they weren't running this one Sanji. Now, this is a good Sanji. It is searchable and all that good stuff. But here's the thing. You don't technically have to run this card, okay? You could run any other 2K counter in its spot. And then all of a sudden, this deck goes into like the $69 or $70 range, right? Just absolutely insane. Incredible. But generally speaking, I'm going to run through the list real quick. And then we're going to have fun with the other list. So this is Blurple, Vinsmoke Reiju, right? Vinsmoke, Germa 66 Reiju. Check this out, guys. 4 Sora, 3 Gina, 1 Kaya. That's interesting. 1 Kaya is very interesting for cycling purposes and filling up your trash and all that good stuff. This can really help you fix your hand if you have like a lot of the 7-cost Ikijis in your hand, or you know, whatever else you might have, or maybe extra judges. You just want one of them, stuff like that. Okay, so 1 Kaya, 4 of the Reiju 2-cost, 4 Tony Chopper, 4 Porsche, 4 Niji, 1 Sanji, that like we talked about. And by the way, if you're wondering, like, okay, well, what 2K counter would I replace with this one right here? It would be another Gina, and we'll talk about that in just a second. It's actually very relevant. 4 of the 4 cost Ikiji, 4 of the 4 cost Reiju, 2 Charlotte Pudding. This is just an incredible tech card. 3 Niji, the 5 cost Niji, 2 Queen, 4 of the 7 cost Ikiji, 2 Vinsmoke Judges just to help close your games out against, you know, games that might be going on longer. 1 Germa 66 event, and then 4 of the stages. The stages of 4 of, must, auto-include, have to do it. And then, of course, the leader. So here's the thing, guys. Ever since OP07 came out, we got access to this card right here. Porsche. Dawn -1, in case you guys can't read it, I know it's like a very small font. Dawn on play. So it's a 3 cost, 5,000 power character on play. Dawn -1. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and reveal up to 1 Foxy Pirates type card and add it to your hand. Notice what it said you could not look up, or like it did not include this. It does not say you can't look up Porsche. So you can look itself up with this card, okay? Then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order and play up to 1 purple character card with a cost of 4,000, or excuse me, with 4,000 power or less from your hand. That is incredible in this deck, guys, because it allows us to play out all the little versions. 3 cost Niji, 2 cost Reiju, not Pudding because it has to be a purple card, by the way. But then you also have the, where is it? There was one other one. Did I miss it? Reiju, and where's Ikiji at? Here he is. 4 cost Ikiji. He is perfectly at the 4 cost 4,000 power mark. Just it's perfect, right? And also, well, what about, oh, but it can't search up much, can it? Well, it has 12 actual really strong targets. Well, 3 targets at 4 of, and this deck does run only 3 Ginas, but I recommend running 4. It would normally have like 4 Ginas. That is a 2K counter, Foxy Pirates, searchable by Porsche. And then it has Tony Chopper. This is also Foxy Pirates. A blocker, okay, searchable blocker, and it's a 1K counter, worst case scenario, with a way to fix your Dawn a little bit with the on play. Literally perfect. It's not bad at all. And then last but not least, like I was saying, where is it? It can search up itself. So there's 12 very relevant targets. You can get a 2K counter with the search, you can get a blocker with the search, or a 1K, or you can get another, where'd you go, Porsche, okay? Now, you cannot play the Porsche out from the Porsche. It has to be a 4,000 power or lower character. Not a big deal. We have plenty of targets for that, right? If we need to, we can play out a Sora, but I wouldn't recommend it, you know, worst case scenario. But you can play out the 2 cost, the 3 cost, and the 4 cost of all the Vinsmoke characters. So it is just, ever since OP07 came around and Reiju got access to those cards, I think this deck was actually able to start competing against Red Purple Law. I'm not saying it was favored. I'm not saying it was an easy battle, but I think it at least finally had the tools, the tools to be able to combat Red Purple Law and at least have something close to like maybe a 40-60. What do you guys think? I don't play a lot of Reiju, but I was able to watch some games and check them out. And it was like, wow, this deck all of a sudden it no longer seems totally one-sided anymore like it used to. Still favored for Law, but hopefully you guys get what I'm saying there. Okay, now let's go ahead and hop into some games on the sim of me playing Reiju. But like I said, it's not your everyday run-of-the-mill Reiju list, is it? Let me go ahead and fix my camera, guys. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, volume is on. Let's turn that off, and let's put the speed on 2x, and we are good to go, guys. First game, we got a game of Blurple Reiju versus Black Yellow Luffy, and look at my hand. It's a mess. Now, like I said, I'm not saying the list is done. It's not complete, but we're going to have some fun with it. We're going to brainstorm. We're going to theory craft. We're going to think outside the box, okay? Yes, that is a top knot that can bottom deck a 4 or less. So we're going to swing for 8 to start the game off. That's aggressive against Black Yellow Luffy. This guy must be thinking, like, what is this guy doing? Well, I wanted to make sure he got to 7 so I could slam this, you know, potentially. We'll see how next turn goes, but where I could potentially slam down this 4-cost 5K Law to make him trash a card from hand. 2 cards. Okay, so let's see what they do here. They're going to smash in for 6. Okay, I'm going to give him a 2K counter. I think I run like 12 2K counters in this list, guys. Like, I run a lot of 2K counters. Play out the Law. I was able to get a Ice Age and an Ivankov. That's very peculiar. This is a very strange list we're seeing here. 6 into the Garp, his turn. That's why I attacked early last turn. I was hoping I could snag like a Gecko Moria from his hand. That would have been ideal. Okay, he trashes the top card of his life. It was actually a 5-cost Luffy. You hate to see it. Then he puts a ace on top and then plays out the 2-cost ace to cheat the other one into play. He's down to 2 life. He's up to 7,000 power. I'm going to have to take this. Got a Magellan in hand. Okay, we're gonna take the, or excuse me, I block out with that one. And right here, I think it's time to turtle up a little bit, but I might even play Magellan. I can't remember. Actually, it looks like I'm gonna do something totally. Oh, I think I'm just gonna make a tempo play here. Oh, he has 3 cards in hand, so I decided to swing 7 into him. I'm gonna play out 2 characters this turn and draw a card for my leader effect. Look at my hand real quick, guys. Hang on, let me make sure I'm on the screen here. Pause. Take a look at my hand. Every one of those cards draws a card. Every one of them. So literally, the Magellan says your opponent loses a Dawn, you lose a Dawn, but you draw a card and get a 6K body. All of those queens say draw 3, trash 1. Draw 3, trash 1, okay? Even that top knot says return 2 Dawn, bottom deck of 4 or less, which is not good against this deck, to be fair, but still, bottom deck of 4 or less, and I'll draw a card. Like that, guys, there's something to be said there. This leader effect is very, very generic, in a good way. Okay, so they're going to keep beating at me here. They're going to keep coming in hot here. I see they're going to swing 8 after this, so I think did I take that one? Or I take the next one because it was going to be double 2K counter either way. Okay, I think it's time to start playing out some queens here. I'm going to swing 7 into 7. Does he want to start giving me cards? The answer is no. Okay, now, all right, this is interesting. It looked like I was about to play the Magellan. I'm going to swing 5. He takes it. I think I'm going to swing 6 more here. Watch this. He thinks he's going to 10 Dawn next turn. No, you're not, buddy. You're going to 9 Dawn this turn, and now your whole Gecko Moria combo is off by 1 Dawn. They can no longer do the full setup. That was all calculated. We'll take it every time. Now, they can still gain 2 life here, of course. There are many other plays they can do, but now it's costing him cards from hand. It's slowing them down. It's getting me back into this game. All right, they're going to swing for 9. I'm going to have to take that, but I have a lot of blockers in hand. Notice that, guys? I have a lot of blockers, and I have a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger with 1 life left. I'm feeling okay here. So right here I have, okay, so I have 8 Dawn. So the answer here is to swing for 7, see what he gives me. Gives me a 1K counter. I'm going to swing for 7. It looks like I am going to be able to play out the queen instead. I was really thinking about doing a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger there, but playing out the queen, since I already have, I do have 1 life left, and I can just, like I said, draw 3, trash 1 is crazy. And a 5-cost 6K blocker. And next turn, one thing, gosh, my thoughts are all over the place right now, guys. I have so much to say. The queen is incredible. Let me just wrap that up there. Draw 3, trash 1, 5-cost 6K blocker. I have 1 life to hide behind, and now my hand is completely stacked. It's completely full. I don't have a lot of 2K counters, but I know I draw, like I said, like 12 in the list. Hopefully we'll get some more soon, or we'll just start throwing in blockers. We'll just throw in blocker after blocker after blocker. No big deal. Okay, now, what I was going to say, though, the way that this deck works is after your 5 Dawn turn, or it might be maybe more like your 4 Dawn turn, you start only gaining 1 Dawn every turn because of the way how your leader effect is working with this deck. Because I'm going to explain it more in just a second. Actually, I'm going to explain it right now. This is what I would consider like the perfect way for your game to go. So like let's just pretend, okay, turn 2, you play out Trafalgar Law, okay? Turn 3, and Return of Dawn if you can. I'm trying to think, would they be able to? I guess if they didn't play anything out, and if they didn't play anything out, and you swung for 5, and they took and went to 7 cards, let's just talk about Magical Christmas Land, right? Play out Trafalgar Law, Return of Dawn, they trash a card, we draw a card, their turn. So we went from 4 Dawn down to 3. So we're going to go up to 5 next turn, right? Play out Magellan, go down to 4, next turn we're going up to 6. The 6 Dawn play for this deck is a king. We didn't see it in this game, but I have the 6-cost king in this deck. So then we'll go back a Dawn down to 5, and the next turn we'll be at 7, and that's when we can play out something like a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger and all that good stuff. So you see the curve in this deck is very different from a standard. It's not going 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's actually going like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you could just keep going up from there, but it's like a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 curve, and it's very interesting. I think there's something to be explored there. Hopefully that made sense. If you didn't get it, just, say something in the comment section, guys. I'll try to get there as soon as I can. Okay, this guy's going to need a blocker because I have a blocker, and I also have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in hand, 2 of which are 2K counters. The others are 1Ks. I didn't even count the ones that were not counters in hand. Okay, so he's got 7 Dawn left, or 6 Dawn left, it looks like. What's he going to do? He's going to gain 2 life. That's his best bet at this point. I've kind of just outpaced him. Okay, he's going to swing in for a lot. Let's see what he does here. I should just block. Okay, instead he's going to attack my Magellan. Yeah, he's going to lose 2 Dawn now. Absolutely, that's fine. Well, I guess was he already at 10? Maybe it wasn't as big a deal, but still. that saved me a blocker, and I thank him for that. I do thank him for that, and now I'm going to play out another Magellan, I think. Yep, your turn. Pass. He loses. He didn't lose any life. Now he has to have a Sabo to play out at the top of his life, and he has to have an ace where he can't regain life this turn. I have 2 blockers. I have Magellan on the board now. I've got a full hand now. Like, my hand is insane, guys. That Reiju is just nasty. Okay, he plays out the Gecko Moria here. I want to say, yeah, okay, right here he's going to play this out, play that out. He's just, you know, he's thinking about swinging 7 here, swings 8. Not a big deal. I'm actually going to counter out of this. I could have blocked and countered that way, whatever. I end up blocking with all the stuff. I'm trying to get my hand down so I can actually play out a Reiju. Okay, my turn now. I think it's just simple math here. Well, no, excuse me. He is at 9. Hang on, actually, it still might be simple. Hang on. He only has 2 cards in hand. He has no life, and he has 1 blocker. So if I swing 9 3 times, he might be able to get out of it. Right? There is a world where he could get out of it. So I don't think I should swing in for life here. All right, what I'm saying is I don't think I should go for game, but I think he might. Oh, Gravity Blade. Okay, what am I talking about? Swing for 9, and let's see what he has. 2K counter, pass, his turn, and let's see what he does here. He just gives up. He has nothing in hand to play. I mean, technically what he could have done there is played out the Luffy, literally trashed the Hiyori from hand to gain 2 life, trash something, you know, it's just, I don't know. He was in a very bad spot. Okay, next game. I don't want to spend too much time on that one. That was a lot of fun. Tell me what you guys think about this list, guys. This is a very fun deck to play, I will say that. Okay, we got a game against Red Purple Luffy. That's always a good matchup. Always a fun matchup. I think I'm going to be doing a Red Purple Luffy deck tech pretty soon, guys. Or like just kind of messing around with like maybe a 3-game video like what we're doing here for Red Purple Luffy. But we'll see. I might wait till OP08. Okay, they play out the 4-cost Bon Carré and then gain a Dawn. But we play out Magellan and totally cancel that Dawn. We draw a card with that. Guys, Magellan's annoying. Magellan is very annoying to play against. All right, let's see if they do here. They're going to swing for 7. I'm not liking this. We're going to have to counter out of that. And now they're probably going to swing in for 8 or just 7. That's fine too. Yeah, and I think I'm actually just going to counter out. I'm just aggressively countering out because I don't want to lose this game in a crappy way. Swing for 6. Going to play out the king there. So notice my curve this turn, guys. I went first. I went first, I believe. So it was turn 3 Magellan, and now turn 4 king, and now turn 5. We'll see what happens. 6 into 8. I'm actually okay with this, I think. Yeah, he has to lose 2 Dawn for that. That's brutal, guys. He lost 3 Dawn this turn. Okay, so right here, we're going to swing for 7 into 7, forcing a card out of hand. And that put him down to 7 cards in hand. And then I made him lose 2 more cards at random with the Trafalgar Law. And I draw a card from that, guys. I draw a card from that. That is just crazy. Okay, now we'll swing 8 into 7. He has to give me a 2K counter or a block or life. My opponent's turn. They're going to play out a Nami. They searched up a Franosuke. Very nice. 8 into 7. I'd rather not give him this card. I'd rather not give him my king if I can help it. 9 into 7. Might just block here. I think this is a good chance to block if I don't. I don't remember if I do or not. Yep, blocking there. They leave 4 Dawn active. I don't know what's going on, guys. Like, this is, I'm just kind of, scratching my head right now. Like, huh, that's interesting. Okay, so right here, looks like we're going to probably swing 9 into face. Yeah, 9 into 7. This will force out a Rad Beam. Very good. I've got 6 Dawn left. I can't really do much with that. I probably should have just gone 8 and 7. Okay, play out the blocker here. My opponent's turn. I actually wanted to play out Magellan there, guys, but I think I made a mistake there. I think I actually messed up on my math. Because I think Magellan there would be much more dangerous against this guy, because then you wouldn't be able to just throw down the queen so, without care. Okay, 9 into 7. I can get out of this, but the question is, do I? I guess the answer is yes. I choose to do that. He's going to swing in there. And now it's my turn. Okay, I've got a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. I can get this queen out of my way and try to go for lethal or try to go for some, big damage here. They left 2 Dawn active. I'm just not buying that they have a Gravity. I don't think they have, 2 events. Okay, let's see what we do here. I think I'm going to swing in for, looks like I'm about to just smash in completely. 10 into 8. They're going to Rad Beam. Play out Magellan. They lose a Dawn. We draw a card. We lose a Dawn too, but we draw a card. And now it's my opponent's turn. Hey, they've got 2 cards in hand. Okay, that's a pretty nice card. 8 into 7. I no longer have counter to save this guy. I'm just going to let him go. I'm just going to let this guy go. I can't save him any longer. Actually, excuse me, I do 2K. Oh, excuse me, because I did the math. I was like, wait a minute, I can 2K counter out and stop the blocker there. Sorry, guys, I spoke a little too soon. Bottom deck those cards right there. Swing 8 into 8. It goes. We'll take it every time. Pass turn to my opponent. If they have 10 cost Luffy here, I think I just lose the game. Like, if they would have just swung there, it all depends on what I get from my life. But if they had 10 cost Luffy there, it would have been ugly. It would have been really ugly. Okay, so I take a hit to life from whatever that was. We're going to swing 9 into 7, and now we're just going all in, and they tap out. They didn't have enough to get out of it. Look, they had a 10 cost Luffy. I wonder if they drew that for the turn, or if they had drawn, or from their last life, or if they had drawn a Newgate. Because what I was going to say was, I feel like if I'm the red purple Luffy player there, I think I'm just going to go for game. Because you see what's on my board. If you can't KO my board, then you're done anyway. You know what I mean? So I think it is something that they should have tried to do. But who knows? Maybe, like I said, maybe they got that from life. I have no idea. All right, we got one more game, guys. We got a game versus another black-yellow Luffy. Sorry, there's not a lot of, variety in today's video. But sometimes, guys, I hop on after a long day's work and just grind out as many games as I can with what I have the idea for and go from there. Okay, they get a double Garp start just right on turn 1. They go second, get double Garp. I think this deck does want to go second, but it doesn't mind going first. And one thing looking forward for this list is I think we do need to improve like the 1, 2, 3 count. Like there's no 1 drop, no 2 drop, or 3 drop. That is something we have to work on in the future for sure. At least a 3 drop. At least a 3 drop. Okay, and maybe something in OP08 will come out that helps it. So they swing in. We're going to play out Magellan. I just want to slow them down, establish a body, draw some cards, cycle through my deck a little bit. Not even cycling, just straight up drawing cards through my deck. If they hit me with something like an Isha right here, even though I know black-yellow Luffy doesn't run that, but I'm saying, like, if a deck were to hit me with an Isha right here, I don't even think I care that much because Reiju draws cards so efficiently, like so often. They got all 3 Garps. They got a 3 Brothers Bond. This guy is completely fixing his hand. Okay, now right here, I think I'm going to have to do the same play as last game where I swing for 5, where they take the hit thinking that I'm helping them out, and I'm going to have to hit them with a Trafalgar Law. 2K to get out of that. Now right here, it should be my turn. Oh, they're going to swing one more time. It's like, oof. I didn't expect them to swing with that Sabo. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Did not expect that. Okay, so let's see what we do here. Again, I'm trying to do a little bit of math here. Got to do a little bit of math. I think swinging 5 into face is the right call here. Yeah, 5 into face. If he takes it, then we hit him with a Trafalgar Law. If he counters out, then we start going at his Sabo. I think swinging with Sabo was a mistake. Okay, so now we get to punish him. Very nice. We got a 7. We got the 2 cost Ace and the 5 cost Sabo. Now we'll go 8 into 6. By all means, give me a 2K, 1K to save it if you want to. He does not. We have 3 life. We have a blocker, and we're doing pretty good at this point in the game. They've set a lot of the cards in their hand with all this searchability, and look at that Flampe. They're gonna gain life here. They're in a good spot. Like they're not in a bad spot, and it looks like they're gonna save one. Actually, I think they should have worked that out. Like who cares about my Trafalgar Law? I get that that Luffy does draw a card as well. Okay, so they do. I was gonna say they should have kept 1 card in life, and they actually do that. Okay, so they did lose 2 Dawn there from my Magellan's on KO effect, and now it's my turn. Okay, I want to get down a body here. I need to start being able to compete for the board. I use the leader, or excuse me, I use the 7 cost on play effect. I draw a card from that into another Magellan. He plays out Sabo. He only has 6 Dawn to work with this turn, guys, or excuse me, 7. He only has 7 Dawn to work with this turn because of the Magellan. Very annoying. That card is a nuisance. Okay, he has 3 Dawn left. He can't even do anything too crazy here, but he is going to stick out. He's going to be at 9,000 power with an extra life and a blocker on the board. He establishes a Luffy, but I don't actually have that many cards I want to play against him that Luffy can really target. He only has 4 cards in hand, guys. Only 4 cards in his hand. I think I might swing here with the Eustace Kid to force the blocker or to force the life. Because if he 2K, 1Ks out of this, I feel like that'll be a mistake. Yeah, because if you just give me the blocker here, next turn you can play out the Gecko. Actually, excuse me, he can't because he only had 7 Dawn. He'll be at 9 Dawn next turn. So he does have to take it. Oof, that hurts. He lost that card. It goes to the bottom of his deck. Now, it goes to the bottom of his deck, not his trash, because of the leader effect. Trashes ace, plays out Sabo. Let's see what he does here. Okay, this guy looks like he's a little bit frazzled at this point. Okay, swinging. No way I'm giving him that, right? 8 into 8, bro? Absolutely not. 10 into 8, I'm not giving you that either. That's a 2-1. That's a 2K, 1K right there. Now, I've got some, you know, this is a dangerous spot to be in. My opponent is at 5,000 power and 2 life. And anything that I connect with, those cards are going bye-bye. They're going to the bottom of the deck, right? And he only has 4 cards in hand, and I've got 2 relevant bodies on the board. Okay. Let's see what they do here. You know, playing out X-Drake would not be the worst play in the world here, because they lose a card, I gain a card, right? They lose a card, I draw a card, I establish a body, and I think that's what I'm going to play. Like I said, he only has 4 cards in hand. So what's he going to trash here? I'm very curious to see what he trashes, because it will tell me quite a bit. So let's see what he chooses. 2-cost Luffy. Okay, so it looks like he was trying to save up for that a little bit. We'll swing 8 into 6 here. I'm not giving him any help to his life here. Not giving him any help at all until I absolutely have to, like 7 and 8. He just lost everything. Now, yes, he does get to reuse his leader effect now, guys. But guess what? He has to trash a card from his hand just to do that. Right here, like I said, this guy, if I remember correctly, I feel like this guy gets a little bit overwhelmed or something. He just starts making mistakes or something. Let's see what happens. Attach 2, trash a card from hand. Play out. He should be playing out an ace and then a Sabo, or a ace on top, Sabo on the bottom. Grabs a Sabo, does not grab the ace, but that's because I bottom decked the ace, right, guys? Okay. So let's see what he does here. Swing 9 into 6. I'm just giving him all these cards except 1 Reiju, so I can just play the Reiju next turn. All right, here we go. This might not be the same game I was thinking of, because I played a game against a Black Yellow Luffy. I play against a lot of Black Yellow Luffys. They're all over the ladders, or all over the sim. So we're going to swing. Okay. Big trouble for this guy now. We are going to swing 7 a lot of times. He trashed the Sabo in his hand. Now I'm going to swing with that, pulling back a card that was attached to the X-Drake. You can do that. And that gave my leader plus 1,000 for the turn. They took that. I'm like, oh no. That means you're in trouble. Takes that. We're going to swing in for 7 more, I believe. Yeah, there's no reason not to swing for 7 more here. Okay, I guess I just play it the safe route. Swing like this. Forgot to swing into the ace there. The correct play at the end was to swing 6 into the 2-cost ace. But oh well, he had another Gecko in hand. It didn't matter at the end of the day. But that would have been the correct play. Okay, what is he going to get out of the trash? He only has a Sabo, and I think that might be it. I didn't see. Let me see. He's going to trash his Luffy. Okay, so that's all he can get back. Now I remember, that's where the guy messed up. He should have put the Luffy first, and then the Sabo, unless he accidentally messed up by getting the Luffy, or excuse me, the double Sabo block, 2-cost characters. So he might have messed up in that way, but either way, he does end up just leaving right here, I believe. 8 into 9. Okay, I've got a 2K counter in hand. I still have a blocker, so we'll get out of that one. What is he going to do now? Swing 7 into 5. Probably should just let this go, to be honest. But we're going to counter out anyway. We'll do it. Okay, GG. So he just felt like, okay, there's no way for me to survive at this point. So good game to my opponent there. Like I said, I feel like they got a little bit overwhelmed at the end, and they kind of made a mistake at that very last turn like that. But it happens. It does happen. Okay, now let's go ahead and check out the deck list, guys. We're almost done. Don't worry. This is the list. It needs a little bit of help. Let me move my face. It needs a little bit of help. Okay, let me. I should have brought up the blue and purple cards, guys. We're gonna let these load in for just a second. It takes just a minute, because I want to bring up the blue and purple cards, and I want to look for cards that are like 2 to 3 cost that we can add to the list. If you guys have any ideas, post it in the comment section below, because I do think there is something here, guys. I do think there's like something, you know, to this list. I think it has potential. Maybe it needs a little more support, but we'll have to see what happens. Because even like a 2-cost blocker like Shiki or something might be nice. Or even like a 3-cost card like Pudding, like the 3-cost 4K Pudding coming out in OP08. Okay, so there, that would immediately, whoops, let me let this load in. There we go. So let me just type in, if you type in a number into the search, guys, it brings up all the cards that cost that for that color, whatever colors you have selected. So as far as, I don't know about 1-cost cards. I'm not too concerned about those. And even 2-cost, 1-cost and 2-cost are probably just not what we should be going for, because we do have to keep the majority of the deck around the 4 to 8 cost area. So that way, because remember, guys, we're not really curving out. we're going to kind of max out around probably 7, 8, or 9 Dawn, because it's going to get to a point where we are returning 1 or 2 Dawn every single turn. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And at that point, it might be worth running. Number 1, Shiki, maybe not then, because like I said, we're not really gaining Dawn very quickly, but maybe Tony Chopper. This might be kind of decent, actually. Tony Chopper, and the 3-cost cards I was thinking of, the 3-cost card, that'd be interesting. This is very interesting, actually. This is very interesting. I'm trying to think what all we could do with this. Talking about the Porsche, of course. Porsche would be able to cheat out something like the Khalifa. It's a 2K counter. It's not like great tempo or anything. But if they don't deal with this card, now this is another when attacking Dawn -1, draw 3, trash 1, just like Queen is. You know, there might be something there. But the card I was thinking of was Pudding. And hey, who knows? Maybe even Pudding's a card you can add to that list. You know, you could cheat that out with Porsche. So really interesting, really cool stuff here. This card might help us curve out later into the game, and then maybe we can get into some, like, let me bring it, like, notice the biggest card in this entire deck is a 7-cost. It'd be nice to have a little more top end, maybe like a Douglas Bullet, because Dawn -4 in this deck, you're drawing a card, tapping down 2 characters, and getting double attack. That could be pretty decent. For 9-cost cards, I do like this card quite a bit. I'm not going to lie. This will be something to consider for sure. Gains us a life, draws us a card, and makes them lose one of their cards. So this card ends up becoming a cycle in Reiju, right? Because Dawn -1, trash a card, and then you're going to draw it right back, right? Or whatever the card is you draw. That's going to be insane. I mean, we've got some upgrades to make to this list. Kaido is also just interesting. This is always just a pretty decent, pretty solid card and finisher. I think this used to be the best finisher in the game, next to, like, you know, 5-cost Rush Luffy that's unblockable. And then, like, Hody Jones came around. So now there are other ones still, but this is one of the OG, one of the best closers in the game here. This card will be interesting as well. Once we get to it, this is OP09. Pause and read it if you don't know what it does. But this does return a Dawn. It lets you draw a card and it gains Rush. So in this deck, it'll be Dawn -1, because you can return 1 or more Dawn cards to your Dawn deck when you play him. He's a 9-cost, 10,000 power card with Rush and draw a card. So you'll Dawn -1, draw 2 cards because of Reiju, and you're coming in for 10k Rush. That would be kind of decent. And also, speaking of that, man, is there... I did mess with a purple, blue Straw Hat Reiju list, I believe. I'm trying to remember. I think I did. I can't remember this point, guys. But in that deck, guys, imagine how much card draw you'll get. You'll have access to cards like these. You'll be able to do some really crazy things. Some really interesting, crazy things. But yeah, I don't want to dive too much into that. That's a whole nother video, guys. Blurple Reiju Straw Hats is got to be another video. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I already kind of messed around with that, but I do want to mess around with that more in the future. Because this new Reiju coming out in OP09, now this card's coming out in ST18, this new Luffy Taro card. But think about it. If you're Dawn -1, cheating out a purple Straw Hat card, and then drawing a card as well from your leader's effect, it's just no downside. There's just no downside. And not to mention, there's a new Zoro coming out. You know, speaking of 3-cost cards, there's a new Zoro coming out. This one right here. This is OP09. Sorry, guys. I should have said spoilers. But this is a 3-cost, 5,000 power character. On play, return 1 or more Dawn cards. So we'll just return 1 since we're playing Reiju. Okay? To your Dawn deck, and then set up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck into play as active. So you'll play this card out. It's like he's a 2-cost draw a card. 3-cost 5k. You know what I mean? Just absolutely insane. Because remember, guys, when one of your Dawn cards on the field is returned to your Dawn deck, draw 1 card. Seems good. That will definitely be something worth messing with. Because there's also the 5-cost stuff too. Whoops, I meant to click 5. There's some argument for this at that point. Like, hang on. There's an event. There's a purple event that can search up, like this one. Top 3 search for Straw Hat, Kid Pirates, or Heart Pirates. At that point, we can even run cards like this in there. The Eustace Kid, the 5-cost kid we were just looking at right here. There might be something there. Well, again, I'll explore that more in the future, guys. I'm sorry, I don't mean to, you know, I keep being like totally inconclusive with my thoughts here. I'm kind of all over the place. I do apologize. But I've got a lot on my mind for this deck, and I think it has a lot of potential. And this might be a little side project of mine in the near future, because this leader is just crazy, guys. I always favor, and I'm not saying they're the best decks out there. Let me be so clear. Let me be so straightforward with everyone. I'm not saying like, oh, this deck's broken. Yeah, this card's so good. It's already good as Blurple, Vinsmoke, Germa 66. Okay, I just want to say this though. I love when a leader is totally generic. Like, notice this effect. This effect doesn't say when one of your Vinsmoke family or Germa 66 cards returns a Dawn. Just know, whenever a card returns a Dawn, right? Whenever a Dawn is returned on your turn, draw a card. So, like, effects like that, that's why I like Sabo so much, right, guys? Like, let me just bring up, let me just type in leader. I think if you type in leader, it'll bring up all the leaders. Yeah, so, like, if I just, whoops, I'm just clicking off them real quick. Like, leaders that I absolutely love to play are ones like Sabo. There is nothing holding down this leader effect. Same thing with Blurple Reiju. Same thing with Marco. I'm a huge fan of this leader because you can play any cards you want in here, you know? I just really love stuff like that. And there's others as well. That's why I like Zanji so much. That's why I also liked, where's Green Yell Yamato? Yamato, just very generic, you know, this one right here. Just really good stuff. But yeah, all right, I'm done yapping, guys. I've been going on for too long. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Please not for, you know, I want to know what you guys have to say about this in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys think about this. Now, let's go ahead and hop over. We got the art critique now. Have not done an art critique in a minute. We've got a Zoro here. We got a real masterpiece on our hands. Check this out, guys. Let's go ahead and bust out the marker. We got a lot going on with this composition. First things first, we have to talk about this white light right here and how it radiates out. Notice what's going on with this spiral. Okay, I'm trying to stay on the page. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter, yeah. And it just keeps spiraling out into the sword, into the actual sword blade. Excellent, excellent choice there with this spiraling action. Again, it goes with the flow of the picture. And this sword, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't, but I wish this sword would have like kind of broken through the plane right here and into the viewer's area, right? Breaks that third dimension and comes into, like, you know, breaks into our dimension, right? That'd be really cool. But the swords themselves look great. Okay, nothing too crazy about there that I can see, like as far as the composition goes. Let me move that and that. As far as the piece in the middle goes with Zoro, let's check that out real quick because there are some shapes we got to look at. I'm sure everybody saw it right away. We got a triangle right here. Let me go green. I don't know why it changes like that. Speaking of which, I saw this up here. Look at this, guys, real quick. So I use Paint 3D for everything, all my thumbnails and everything. And look at the top here. Paint 3D will not be available in the Microsoft Store or receive future updates starting on November 4th, 2024. Very sad about that. From what I understand, you'll still be able to use it, but it will no longer be like updated. It will no longer receive like the, you know, probably annual updates. I don't know when it gets updates. I've never even updated mine, so hopefully I can still just use it the way it is. Anyway, so we got this going on. Let me bust out the red real quick because we will bring that. We will bring the spiral back into what we were doing here. There we go. So we got this spiral going on, going totally outside of the piece. We've got the triangle for the way his cape is. Y'all see that? The way his like his cloak or shirt or whatever that is, it's blown back by the force of what he's doing here. And then a really nice choice on having the background be this light, which pushes us to the character, right? Because when you just see this piece, the first thing that I see when I see this piece is that blinding white light. Like it's a light poking us in the eye, right? It's drawing our attention right to it. And then what happens, number one, you do have some really nice things going on. We'll highlight in a minute, like these lines that are going every which way. We'll look at that in just a second. But what happens is, like I said, whoops, it spirals outward, okay? And where does it push us to? Oh, here we go. We found our way to the target, right here. Boom. Now we're on Zoro. What's Zoro doing? His attention, like notice his eyes, they're pointing this direction. That's where this sword's going. This arm, it's pushing the sword back into here. It's completing the circle, pushing us back to the beginning and maybe back into the foreground a little bit as well down at the bottom. They do a really good job with that stuff. It comes out so well. It comes out so excellent. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I will talk about a few more things like with the color palette. And I guess I will at least draw some lines real quick. I do want to show like this line right here. Let's go. We got to change this to like an orange maybe. No, I like the red better. It pops a little better. This is just really nice how they have this. We'll make it 3D. And then we will do a few more like that. Notice the little shapes it has here. Again, it's just meant to draw our attention to this central piece here. And I think that might have been intentional. Notice there are like 3 lines. Like watch, when I get rid of these, notice where the lines are. There's one, and there's one. And that kind of has to do with like his 3-sword style, right? He's got 3 slashes, the blinding light here. Because to us, you know, to the viewer, it would only look like this, right? Let me just grab 3 of them. There we go. And then it would just look like this. But this is 3 slashes. Even though it looks like a 6-pointed figure, it's really just 3 slashes. So that may have been intentional for the actual composition. But if it was not, that was very well done. Again, subliminal, subliminal messaging there. Really good stuff. It's like sometimes your brain just does it for you, right? It just takes care of things for you. So again, let me end it there. Let me talk about the color palette. Actually, I almost forgot about that. I really like the very subtle colors here. There's not a lot of neon bright colors. There's a little bit, right? There's always going to be a little bit, like with this bright light here, you can almost consider that a neon type of effect, pushing us out the way it is with this blast wave of what Zoro's doing in this attack. But other than that, it's got a very soft palette. Like look at his cloak back here, guys. That's why I can use this red and it pops so much. It's such a vibrant color compared to these, other than the light blues here. And that makes the red pop even more, having the contrast with the blues. But very good stuff here. Even the hair is actually I feel like it's very dim lit. And then in the far background, I just noticed this guy back here, some type of like monkey soldier with a sword here. Someone help me out in the comment section. What's going on here? There's some guy getting blasted maybe, or he's getting blown back. Very cool stuff there. Okay, I'm done. Just kind of rambling at this point. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. For everybody who comments, shares, likes, subscribes, thank you guys so much. The channel has been growing like crazy. I could not be more thankful. Thank you guys so much for that. Big shout out to everybody who supported the channel by buying a playmat. I hope you're really enjoying the playmat. Really good stuff there. Last but not least, of course, the VV Pirates patrons out there. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm just extremely thankful for everybody who helps me out. So yeah, that's it. I'm done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.